Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. RHOC star Shannon Beador calls ex-John Janssen a monster. As Real Housewives of Orange County star Shannon Beador finally learns what her ex, John Janssen, is holding over her, she labels him a monster. On the most recent episode of RHOC, Shannon revealed that while the cast was enjoying a group trip to Napa Valley, she was facing a deadline from John about repaying a $75,000 loan. John and his now fiancée, Alexis Bellino, have been telling everyone but Shannon that if she does not repay the loan, they are going to release footage from the night of her DUI. Footage that, according to the duo, could ruin Shannon's life. Ahead of the deadline, she offered him half, which he denied, Shannon admitted through tears. "I just feel like it's extortion," Shannon said before noting he recently made a bundle after selling off his share of his insurance company. What is most important to John is people think he's a good guy. And this is step one. Try to make Shannon look bad. And he's really taking drastic steps. Later in the episode, Shannon went to a spa with Katie Janela, Emily Simpson, and Jana Kirschenheiter, and finally learned what fans had known for weeks, what was on the videos. When former lawyer Emily suggests she just paid John the money, Jana accidentally reveals that Alexis had incriminating footage from John's Ring camera. The footage allegedly shows Shannon coming close to running over John's daughter before she ran her car into the planter box of a Newport Beach home. "From the night of my DUI, a visibly shaken Shannon asked, 'What are the details? I don't even remember.' You know what, you guys, I am working so f***ing hard on myself," she said. "He is trying to take me down. I'm so angry right now. He's a monster," she added through tears. The revelation made Shannon contact her lawyers and tell him to pay him whatever he wants. Following the episode, RHOC fans immediately took to social media to support Shannon. "I've never seen someone shake like this. I am going to war for Shannon Beador. This is insane," wrote one fan on X. Another shared, "It's absolutely heartbreaking to watch what she is going through. The fact that Bravo brought Alexis back and stood by as they extorted money from Shannon is disgusting. Bravo needs to clean house. If Shannon Beador has 1 million fans, I am one of them. If Shannon Beador has only one fan, that's me. If Shannon Beador has no fans, it's because I died. We must protect her at all costs," wrote a third. Tell us, whose side are you on, Shannon or John? Do you think what he and Alexis were doing to her should be labeled as extortion? Sound off in the comments below. Shannon Beador, star of The Real Housewives of Orange County, was never one to mince words. But this time, her accusations against ex-boyfriend John Janssen have left her friends, fans, and even critics speechless. Sitting down in an emotional interview, her voice was thick with frustration as she called him a monster, a description that shocked many, but perhaps not those who had witnessed the turmoil of their relationship unfold both on and off screen. The RHOC star looked visibly strained, her eyes a reflection of sleepless nights and too many memories replayed in her head. Once her relationship with John Janssen had been her beacon of hope, a relationship she believed was finally the answer to her years of emotional roller coasters. After her devastating divorce from David Beador, Shannon had been vulnerable but cautiously optimistic. When she met John, it seemed like he was everything David wasn't: attentive, kind, stable. Yet now she was describing him with a word that carried so much weight, so much pain. In front of the cameras, their love story had seemed almost idyllic at first. There were candlelit dinners, romantic getaways, and a deep connection that Shannon had longed for after years of public heartbreak. For her, it felt like a second chance at love. She even gushed about him during interviews and reunions, beaming with what looked like newfound happiness. Yet, behind the scenes, cracks were forming, the kind that Shannon was adept at covering up, until she couldn't anymore. "John wasn't who I thought he was," Shannon revealed, her voice breaking. "I thought he was my rock. I thought he was going to be the one who stood by me through thick and thin. But he changed, or maybe I just started to see him for who he truly was. He turned into someone I didn't recognize, someone cold, manipulative, and cruel." Shannon went on to describe what she now refers to as her nightmare. According to her, John would often gaslight her, making her question her sanity and judgment. It began with small comments, jabs about her appearance, her insecurities, her role on RHOC. He criticized her weight fluctuations, which had always been a sore subject for Shannon. He'd say things like, "You'd be prettier if you lost a few pounds," and then mask the cruelty with a smirk, as though he was simply being helpful. For Shannon, who had spent much of her time on RHOC dealing with public scrutiny over her body, these comments stung more than anything. It wasn't just the words, she explained. It was how he said them, like I was supposed to thank him for his honesty. But it wasn't honesty. It was cruel. Worse still, Shannon said that John would often use her fame against her. During heated arguments, he'd remind her that her success was fleeting, and that without RHOC, she would be nothing. He'd say, "You're only relevant because of this show, Shannon. Without it, you're just another middle-aged woman with baggage." It hurt because I had worked so hard to rebuild my life after David, and he knew exactly where to hit me. Friends of Shannon, including fellow housewives, had started to notice the shift in her demeanor long before she ever spoke out about John. Gina Kirschenheiter, a close confidant, once commented in an episode, "There's something off about Shannon lately. She's not her usual self. It's like she's trying too hard to be happy." Those close to her started noticing Shannon pulling away, isolating herself, and making excuses for John's increasingly erratic behavior. What pushed Shannon to finally break her silence was an incident that took place off-camera. According to sources, during a private dinner at John's house, he exploded in a fit of rage over something trivial, a conversation about finances that spiraled out of control. Shannon said the experience left her shaken and afraid for the first time in their relationship. "He screamed at me like I was nothing, like I was the problem. But it wasn't about the money. It was about control." Shannon added that it wasn't the first time John had shown a darker side, but this was the moment she realized she couldn't continue pretending everything was okay. "For a long time, I kept telling myself that it was just stress, that he was going through something, and it would pass. But the truth is, I was just making excuses for his behavior. I didn't want to believe that I had ended up with another man who didn't value me." Calling him a monster felt like the culmination of everything she had endured. Every tear, every sleepless night, every moment she questioned her worth. "I trusted him," Shannon said, her voice wavering. "I let him into my life, my family, and he shattered that trust in the worst way possible." John has yet to respond publicly to Shannon's accusations, but those in her inner circle have rallied around her, offering support and encouragement as she navigates the aftermath of their breakup. Shannon knows this will be another storyline that will play out in the public eye, but for once, she doesn't care. "I'm done hiding," she declared. "I'm done pretending. People need to know the truth. And the truth is that John Janssen is not the man I thought he was. He's a monster." As The Real Housewives of Orange County continues to film its latest season, Shannon's raw emotions will likely be at the forefront of the drama. But for now, she is focused on healing and reclaiming her narrative. "I've been through enough," she said with a fierce determination. "I won't let anyone else break me." Her journey forward is uncertain, but one thing is clear. Shannon Beador is done living in fear. Whether or not John Janssen will remain a part of the RHOC storyline is yet to be seen, but his impact on Shannon's life is undeniable. For Shannon, this chapter may be painful, but she's determined it won't be the final one. "I deserve better," she said, "and I'm going to make sure I get it."